a quick update on the new environment here. So outside, cold, 8 degrees Fahrenheit. But inside, we are sitting pretty. So 3 sensors, and they're all in the main mealworm room now, that single room. And we are getting really good temperatures across the board. So we're going from north to south. So this is in the northern room, or northern part of the room, where the heat has to kind of rotate around the room to get to that section, and it's only 2.8 degrees lower. So air movement in here is better than I anticipated. This guy's in the middle of the room, and this guy is right here where I'm sitting in the back. And so things are doing really well, given the temperature differential between outside and inside. Let's take a look at this bottom sensor in more detail. So this is over the last several days. I'll explain these dips here. But the heat, so I had it set at 76 here at the sensor in the middle of the room for the HVAC. So in the back here where the main heat kind of blows into, it's kept temperatures pretty good. And then this dip here was yesterday. I turned it off when I was in here doing some work that was dusty, just to save the filter. Even though the Grizzly's doing real well, I still just turn it off just to keep some of that dust out of it. Still didn't get too bad in here though. So then I turned it back on and I set it up to 78, and you can see it's keeping it nice and toasty in here. A lot of kicking on and off is what I think this is, which I'm going to be in here today doing some work. I'm curious to see how it goes, but it seems like it kicks on and off a lot. And that's, I don't know. It's a simple thermostat, and so I don't think I can adjust the range that it goes on and off. So it's just kind of up and down, but it's staying up. Overall, right, average temperature. So before I turned it up, the average was a little lower, went up a couple degrees, and now we're a little higher as well. Both of these dips, both this guy and this guy, were just for me turning the heat off while I did something. So in this case, it was me working. In this case, I think I was doing some spray foam. I was doing something in here to fill the gaps and cracks, and then I might have also been working as well. So I turned the temperature, or turned the heater off at that point. But yesterday, before the cold snap came, I got the final bat insulation on the new wall put in, and then I did find that one spot that I've posted about in a recent video where I had some moisture because I didn't close that up soon enough, and so the 50% humidity that you can see down here, that 50% humidity interacted with the really cold weather and caused some ice and water to form. So that's sealed up now, and I'll bust that open once the temperature goes up a little bit and that moisture has a chance to evaporate. I'll bust that open, put the bat insulation back, reinstall the foam board, put the duct or the tuck tape on, so that all that is taken care of. But that's where we're at right now from a heat perspective. Overall, things went much better than I anticipated. And so if we take a look, I'm in the back of the room in the previously existing area. And so if we do this, and you look up over my shoulder, you can see all the way to the new wall that's darker. I haven't painted the ceiling yet, so I haven't hung the lights. So it's just sort of one light here and then these lights that were existing. But that entire space is now being kept nice and warm. And so it's just a matter of me finishing the painting on top, to finishing the drywall painting on top to get everything squared away so that I can start moving trays in and expanding into this section, which is desperately needed because I'm running out of space back there. I have more trays, I'm moving this way, and so I got to get all this stuff done. But today's going to be pupa collection, because yesterday, instead of doing pupa, I did the bat insulation and tuck tape sealing on that wall to get that squared away. But overall, the heating situation's going well. So this cold snap, it doesn't seem like anything bad has happened. The air is still being exhausted every 3 hours for 20 minutes, and that's going well. The heat's recovering, it's not going down. It's probably running the whole time because it's so cold outside when it's pulling in that really, really cold temperature. But so far it seems like that's working okay. The beetles, mealworms, pupa, everything is still going along. Like, there's no changes in that yet. It'll be a little while before I do see any changes, if any, but since the temperatures have been holding very well in here, I'm not anticipating any visual change, any number production change. Everything should be okay. So I think it worked. I don't know when I will say that it did work. Maybe once this cold snap is done and we get back to higher temperatures and everything in here is doing fine. We shall see, but so far so good.